I found it. After 8 months of digging, starving, and losing everything, I finally found it. Gold. Real gold. But let me tell you something. Finding gold was the easy part. Surviving the journey? That nearly killed me 3 times. My name is Samuel Cooper, and this is my story of the California Gold Rush. Grab your notebook, because by the end of this tale, you'll learn English the way it was really spoken in the Wild West. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn what it truly means to strike it rich. Let me take you back to where it all started. January 1849, Boston, Massachusetts. I was working as a clerk. Clerk. Someone who does paperwork in an office. The pay was terrible. $5 a week. Barely enough to get by.
One freezing morning, I walked into the office, and everyone was gathered around a newspaper. My boss, Mr. Henderson, was reading aloud. Mr. Henderson, gold, gold was discovered in California. Men are making fortunes overnight. One prospector found nuggets worth $5,000 in a single day. Prospector, that's someone who searches for gold or valuable minerals. And a nugget, that's a lump or chunk of gold. Let me teach you an important expression, to strike it rich. This means to suddenly become wealthy, usually by luck. In 1849, everyone wanted to strike it rich. My coworker, Tom, turned to me and said, "Sam, we should head west. This is our chance. We could make more in a week than we make in a year here." Notice that expression, head west. It means to travel west. You can also say head home, head to the store, or head downtown. It's very common in conversational English. I was skeptical. Skeptical means doubtful, not sure if something is true. But that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that gold. The next morning, I made my decision. Once I decided to go, I had to prepare. And let me tell you, preparation was everything. First, I needed supplies, the things you need for a journey. I went to the general store. A general store is a shop that sells many different types of goods, food, tools, clothes, everything. The shopkeeper's name was Mr. Wilson. "Mr. Wilson, I need supplies for California. What do I need?" "Well, son, you'll need the basics. Let me make you a list. Here's what I needed to buy. That'll be $75 total. Can you afford it?" Afford means to have enough money to buy something. Can you afford it is a very common question. You can also say, "I can't afford a new car," or "She can afford to take a vacation." I had been saving money for 2 years. I had exactly $83. I spent $75 on supplies. That left me with $8 for the journey. Not much, but I was determined. On February 15th, 1849, I set out for California. Set out means to begin a journey. I could also say departed or left, but set out is more adventurous. There were 2 main routes to California. Route options. 1. By ship around South America. 18,000 miles, 5 to 8 months. 2. overland across the continent, 2,000 miles, 4 to 6 months. I chose the overland route. It was shorter, but more dangerous. I joined a wagon train. That's a group of wagons traveling together for safety. There were 43 people in our group. We had 12 wagons pulled by oxen. Our trail boss, that's the leader of the wagon train, was a tough man named Captain Morrison. On the first day, he gathered everyone and gave us the rules. Listen up, folks. We've got 2,000 miles ahead of us. Here are the rules. First, we leave at dawn every morning. That means sunrise. Second, stay with the group. If you wander off, you'll get lost or worse. Third, ration your food. Don't eat too much too fast. We've got a long way to go. Any questions? Let's break down that speech. The first week was exciting. The weather was good, and everyone was in high spirits. In high spirits means happy and optimistic. But then things got hard, really hard. By week 3, we hit the prairies. The prairie is a flat grassland with few trees. It rained for 6 days straight. Our wagon wheels got stuck in the mud. We had to push them out. One night, I was sitting by the campfire with Tom and a man named Jack. Jack had made this journey once before. He was teaching us Prospector slang. Jack, if you're gonna survive in California, you gotta know the lingo. When you find gold, you don't just say, "I found gold." You say, "I struck color." That means you found gold in the dirt.
And listen here. Out in the gold fields, everyone's your friend until you strike color. Then watch your back. I've seen men kill for a single nugget. Watch your back is an expression meaning be careful, be alert for danger. It's still used today in English. The journey continued. We crossed rivers. We climbed mountains. We survived storms. People got sick. One family turned back, but I kept going. After 4.5 months on the trail, on June 30th, 1849, we finally saw it. California, the gold fields. Our journey was almost over. But the real challenge, that was just the beginning. When I arrived in California, I expected to see a beautiful frontier town. What I found was chaos, pure chaos. Chaos equals complete disorder and confusion. Thousands of men had arrived before us. There were tents everywhere, muddy paths, makeshift stores. The air smelled of smoke and sweat. This place was called Sacramento, the gateway to the gold fields. Let me describe what I saw. Everyone was trying to sell something. One man was shouting, "Fresh bread, $1 a loaf. You won't find cheaper." $1 for bread. Back in Boston, bread cost 5 cents. Prices here were outrageous. Outrageous means shockingly high or unreasonable. I needed to find a place to mine. I asked around. Asking around means to ask several different people for information. A grizzled old prospector, grizzled means gray-haired and weathered-looking, gave me some advice. "Listen here, greenhorn, all the good claims are taken. If you want to find gold, you gotta go upstream, way upstream. The farther you go, the better your chances." Greenhorn is slang for someone new and inexperienced. It was commonly used in the Old West. Let's learn some more gold rush slang.
I thanked the old man and headed upstream with Tom. We walked for 3 days along the Amma River until we found an unclaimed spot.
This is it, Sam. This is our claim. We're gonna be rich.
We were excited. We were naive. Naive means inexperienced and trusting, not understanding how difficult things really are. We didn't know that finding gold wasn't the hard part. Surviving was.
Let me teach you about gold panning. This is important vocabulary. How to pan for gold. First, you fill your pan with dirt and gravel from the riverbed. Gravel is small rocks and pebbles. Second, you add water to the pan. Third, you swirl the pan in a circular motion. This washes away the lighter dirt and sand. Fourth, you look for gold at the bottom. Gold is heavy, so it sinks. Panning vocabulary. Swirl means move in a circular motion. Settle means sink to the bottom. Sift means separate by size. Rinse means wash with water. Flakes are tiny, flat pieces of gold. Specks are very small spots or particles. My first day of panning, I worked for 10 hours straight. Straight here means continuously, without stopping. By sunset, my back was aching, my hands were covered in cuts, and I had found nothing, not a single speck of gold. Tom saw me and he said, "Don't worry, Sam, tomorrow will be better. We just need to find the right spot." But tomorrow wasn't better. Neither was the next day, or the day after that. For 3 weeks, we found almost nothing. A few tiny flakes worth maybe $2 total. Meanwhile, we were spending money every day on food. Let me teach you about daily expenses. Cost of living in the goldfields. Bread, $1 per loaf. Coffee, $2 per pound. Bacon, $3 per pound. Beans, $1.5 per pound. Tent rental, $5 per week. Tools, if they break, $10 to $20 to replace. With no gold, I was running out of money. Running out of means your supply is almost finished. One night, I was feeling desperate. Desperate means in such a bad situation that you'll try anything. What am I doing here? I gave up everything for this. I'm broke, I'm exhausted, and I haven't found anything. Maybe I should just go home. But then Tom said something that changed everything. Tom, remember what Captain Morrison said? We've got a long way to go. We can't give up now. Tomorrow, let's try a different spot. That old timer said to go farther upstream. Let's do it. He was right. We couldn't give up. Not yet. The next morning, we packed up our camp and moved 2 miles farther upstream. We found a quiet bend in the river. The water was clear. The gravel looked promising. I knelt down by the water, filled my pan, and started swirling. 3 swirls in, I saw something glinting at the bottom of my pan. Glinting means shining, reflecting light. I looked closer.
My heart started pounding. Pounding means beating very hard and fast. It was gold. Real gold. A nugget the size of my thumbnail. Sam! Tom! I struck color. I actually struck color. That first nugget was worth about $40. $40 for one piece of gold. Over the next 2 weeks, we found more. Not every day, but enough to make it worthwhile. Some days we'd find $3 worth, other days 20. Once Tom found a nugget worth $75. We were making money, but the gold fields were a dangerous place. Let me tell you why. Number 1, claim jumpers. Claim jumpers are thieves who steal your claim. One night, Tom and I woke up to voices outside our tent. "This claim is ours now, boys. You better move on." 3 men with guns stood at our campsite. They wanted our claim. "This is our land. We staked it legally." "Don't care. We've got the guns. That makes it ours." This was a serious situation. We had no weapons. We were outnumbered. Outnumbered means having fewer people than your opponents. But then something unexpected happened. The old prospector who had given me advice weeks earlier appeared with 5 other miners. "These boys staked this claim fair and square. You want to take it? You'll have to go through all of us." Fair and square is an expression meaning honestly and according to the rules. The claim jumpers looked at each other, then left without a word. We were saved. Number 2, disease. Living conditions were terrible. We drank river water. We rarely bathed. Bathed means washed our bodies. Men got sick all the time. There were diseases like common diseases. Dysentery means severe diarrhea. Scurvy means disease from lack of vitamin C. Cholera is a deadly infection. Typhoid is a bacterial infection causing high fever. Many men died. We had to bury them ourselves. Number 3, the weather. Summer was brutally hot. Brutally means extremely, intensely. We worked in 100-degree heat with no shade. Men suffered from heat stroke. That's when your body overheats dangerously. Winter was freezing cold. The river would sometimes freeze over. Freeze over means become completely covered with ice.
Number 4, loneliness. This might sound strange, but loneliness was one of the hardest parts. We were far from home, far from family. No letters could reach us. Some men went crazy from the isolation. Isolation means being completely alone, separated from others. I missed my mother. I missed my sister. I wondered if I'd ever see them again. But Tom and I became like brothers. We looked out for each other. Looked out for means took care of, protected. One evening, sitting by the campfire, Tom said, "Tom, whatever happens, we stick together, right?" "Right. Together till the end." Stick together means stay united, remain loyal to each other. By August 1849,
We had been in California for 2 months. We had found about $600 worth of gold. That was a fortune back then, more than 2 years of wages from my clerk job. But we wanted more. Everyone did. That was the fever, the gold fever. Gold fever is an obsession with finding gold that makes people take risks. Tom and I decided to explore deeper into the mountains. We'd heard rumors of a place called Grizzly Gulch, where nuggets the size of eggs had been found. It was a risky decision, a very risky decision. But greed makes you do foolish things. Grizzly Gulch was a 3-day hike into the mountains. The terrain was rough. Terrain means the physical features of land. On the second day, we saw a grizzly bear, an actual grizzly bear. Grizzly bear is large, dangerous brown bear found in North America. Tom, don't move. Don't make a sound. The bear was about 50 feet away. It hadn't seen us yet. We slowly backed away, step by step. My heart was in my throat. My heart was in my throat means I was extremely scared and anxious. After what felt like an eternity means a very long time, the bear walked away. We were safe, but we were also terrified. Terrified means extremely scared. Finally, on the third day, we reached Grizzly Gulch, and it was empty, completely empty. No miners, no camps, nothing. We didn't know why, but we were about to find out. We set up camp by a small stream and started panning. Within 10 minutes, I found a nugget, then another, then another. Tom, this place is incredible. The old-timers were right. There's gold everywhere. For 3 days, we found gold. Lots of gold. We collected over $2,000 worth of nuggets. We were rich, actually rich. But on the 4th morning, I woke up feeling strange. My head was spinning. I felt hot, then cold, then hot again. Tom, you look terrible. You're burning up. Burning up means having a very high fever. I had caught something, maybe from the water, maybe from the cold nights, I don't know. But I was getting sicker by the hour. By the hour means with each passing hour, rapidly. Tom faced a terrible choice. If we stayed, I might die. If we left, we'd abandon all this gold. Tom didn't hesitate. Didn't hesitate means made a decision immediately without doubt. Tom, we're leaving right now. I'm not letting you die for gold. He packed up our camp, he put me on his back, and he carried me. For 3 days, Tom carried me down that mountain. I was in and out of consciousness. In and out of consciousness means sometimes awake, sometimes unconscious. I remember fragments. Tom giving me water, Tom making fire, Tom telling me to stay alive. On the 6th day, we reached a mining camp with a doctor, an actual doctor. The doctor examined me and gave me medicine. He said I had typhoid fever. It was serious, but I would survive. I spent 2 weeks recovering. Recovering means getting better after illness. When I was finally strong enough to talk, I asked Tom about the gold. Tom, did you bring the gold? Tom smiled and pulled out a leather pouch. It was heavy with nuggets. You think I'd leave it behind? We earned this, Sam. We earned every ounce. Earned means deserved through hard work and sacrifice. That moment, lying in that cot, I realized something important. The gold wasn't the treasure, not really. The treasure was friendship, loyalty, someone who would risk everything to save you. Tom and I stayed in California for 1 more year. We mined together and we did well. Not rich beyond imagination, but comfortable. Comfortable means having enough to live well. In November 1850, we decided to go home. We had enough gold, about $5,000 each. That's equivalent to over $150,000 today. The journey back east was easier. We took a ship this time. No more wagon trains, no more bears, no more claim jumpers. When I finally arrived home in Boston, my mother cried. She thought I was dead. "Mom, Samuel, my boy, you're alive. You're actually alive." I had been gone for almost 2 years, 21 months to be exact. Was it worth it? That's the question everyone asks. Financially, yes. I made more money than I could ever have as a clerk. But the cost? The cost was high. I saw men die. I nearly died myself. I experienced hunger, fear, and exhaustion like never before. But I also experienced something else. Adventure. Real adventure. The kind you'll remember for the rest of your life. The California gold rush changed me. It taught me about perseverance, about friendship, about what really matters. So that's my story. The story of Samuel Cooper, a clerk from Boston who went to California in search of gold and found something much more valuable. If you're learning English, remember this. Language is like gold. You have to dig for it. You have to work hard. Some days you'll find nothing. Some days you'll strike color. But if you keep going, if you don't give up, you'll find treasure. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the gold rush. Keep practicing your English. Keep learning. And remember, the real treasure is the journey itself. Until next time, happy learning.